Hello and welcome to the Autodromo Oscar E. Juan Gonzalez. I think I've pronounced that correctly. Yep, I have. No, Oscar E. Juan Gonzalez. No, Galvez, sorry. For the Argentinian Grand Prix sprint qualifying. And as you've just seen, Teo Porcher on his return to Formula 1 has had a huge accident going through turn 2. We'll get a replay of what happened. It was ginormous though, going through turn 2. We'll go on off board, then we'll get on board as he starts his final, what would have been his final flying lap. Of course, on the endurance layout for this sprint race. Normally, endurance layout would mean Grand Prix, but this endurance layout is completely flat out apart from two corners. So, yeah, he just gets on the grass, the curb spits him out, and you can't actually see it from this angle, but you can hear it as it cuts back to it. I think actually there should be a better angle. Here we go. I think this will be better. He just gets on the grass, loses the car, and it's a huge hit into the wall. The camera barely even catches the crash. But Porsche, as you can see, was running third at the time of the crash. But then you can see just gets in the grass, the car immediately loses it, and it's a big hit into the tyre wall. Anyone on behind him that could have seen it, maybe? Let me hit a quick pause. Let's see. I got on board. No, that's still Porsche. What was that car there? I think Alpine. So either Doohan or Gasly, maybe. Would have been Doohan if it was the Alpine. It was. Let's go on board with him. The Australian, who's basically okay. We were a bit too far back. I don't think we've got any other better angles. There was no one else there. We can maybe just about see it. You can see him going through turn 1 there. If you look to the right hand side of your screen, you can see him go off, and it's a heavy hit into the wall. Anyway, let's go through your grid for the sprint race tomorrow. And it's just not going his way, is it? Yuki Tsunoda right at the back of the grid. I know it's thankfully for him it's only a sprint race, but the championship contender, he's just not been ideal. Of course, crashed out. Well, he got crashed into by the man on board of currently Jack Doohan at the right at the end of the American Grand Prix last week. So unfortunately for him, any chance of a potential championship charge could be over. There was only 1 or 2 points scored by the championship contenders last week, by the way. So I will get you the updated championship. Basically, Behrman got 1 point, so it's as you were, really. 4 points the gap appears between Norris and Russell, Doohan basically out of it. Anyway, Lawson down in 19th after the race he had last week. I'm surprised at that. And then Vesti 18th as well. He's had a great last 2 races. Won the Bahrain Grand Prix and the 5th place last week as well. Sainz in 17th, back to the usual poor qualifying after a 2nd place last week. Gasly in 16th. He got a 3rd place last week at US. But qualifying, it's not been great, but his race performance has been good. Behrman 15th, another poor qualifying for him. He's led the championship a few times this season. Still in it, of course, was the only driver to get a point last week, and it was 1 point, so he moves 13 points behind Norris. Doohan 14th, Verstappen 13th, Stroll 12th, Albon 11th, Piastri 10th, Drogovic 9th, good result from him. Norris in 8th place, championship leader. Porsche, of course, before that huge accident, running 3rd at the time. He was 7th. Wait, am I doing things right? Let me go. Let me hop the live coverage, make sure mine's doing on the track. That hasn't finished ages ago. Anyway, yeah, Porsche, we still have a huge accident. He's down in 7th place. Salvers, both of them qualifying very well. Russell in 6th place. He's the highest of the championship contenders. Leclerc in 5th, Maloney in 4th place. He was 2nd, but last time I checked. And Nelly, the man that won the Grand Prix last week, he's in 3rd place, looking to carry on that form. Hamilton in 2nd place, he was on provisional pole, but when I was looking at the replays, but look at Esteban Ocon, he's come out of absolutely nowhere to set a 107.775. That's a brilliant lap time from the Frenchman to go on provisional pole. So let's get a look of his lap time. Was it this lap? It might have been. It was that lap. Why did he brake there? Okay, that's not the onboard we want. There we go. Oh, no, too far. Here we go. Let's go on board with, what's his name? Esteban Ocon for a lap of the Buenos Aires circuit. Braking for some reason through the final corner. Not sure what that's about. But as they go through turn 1, no, not curve N1, S del Cievero, turn 1, then turn 2, where we saw Porsche crash. That's actually Porsche just there off the side of the track. And then we go down the Recta del Fondo towards turn 3, which is the Curvon de Salotto. And he actually is going to overtake the Alpine, I think, of Gasly round the outside. He must have had a huge slipstream. He's at 205 miles an hour. That's huge speeds to get around a corner. That is crazy. And down the Recta del Lago, which I think is Spanish for Lake Strait, I don't know. For the first braking zone of the circuit, it's turn 4, Chicana di Ascari, turn 4, and then turn 5, a little bit of a lift, and then turn 6, which is completely flat out again. Is Extranda a los Mixtos? I don't think that's actually a corner. And then we go towards turn 7, the first major braking zone of the track, Curva de Parga. Tight hairpin there before they, for some reason, break through turn 8. I don't know why they do that, but strange. Hopefully doesn't cause any issues in the Grand Prix. But that is a pole lap from Esteban Ocon. It's a 107.775. We'll be back tomorrow. It's a 3 PM UK time, lights out, 12 PM local time. So we'll see you for that one. Goodbye.